All right, let's do it live on a first Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo, and we are partying at Minotti's.
With the Frizzer, baby. Party at Minotti's.
Come on, buddy. Look at that.
Let's go. Rocky River.
Double R, your side of town.
That's the only place to go and secure your fine wines.
Fine wines.
Your bourbons, your tequilas, whatever it is that you like to imbibe in.
On a first Friday.
On a
perfect
first Friday.
way to stop on your way home.
You go party at Minotti. I mean, look at this shirt. Are you kidding me?
It's a great shirt.
Yeah, let's get some. Get out of here.
Look at that. Strong.
Strong.
Very strong. I like it.
Party at Minotti's.
Can't help himself. Can't help yourself.
Let's go, baby. It's a first Friday. I'm back. I'm back.
You're back. You're back.
I wasn't gone.
No. How did it end up?
Not here.
How did we end up? How did everything end up?
I think we're turning a corner. He has not taken to the vanilla. He does not enjoy what's not like about vanilla extra.
No, they don't. They're not going to like it.
No, he doesn't like it.
What happens?
But hopefully it's helping.
What happens when you do it, when you rub it on there, is it numbs the gum.
Yeah.
And then he likes everything else.
And then he's
not going to.
He's enjoyed the rag.
It's bitter.
He's enjoyed the rag.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out there's a bit of, in vanilla extract.
A touch. Just a touch.
Yeah, we found a low.
Yeah.
A low
an
proof.
Organic.
Yeah, organic.
Yeah.
Pure from Mother Earth.
Pure as the driven snow for the young
Yeah.
lad.
So no, I think he's doing better. I think this morning with him was as normal as it's been in the last 5 days. So that was good. We had a lovely time.
That's nice.
Yeah,
very good. Very good.
It's just crazy how I have no recollection at this point in my life of when Arden and Bryce were teething. None. Zero.
I only did just from the standpoint of I remember it being a DEFCON not 1 but a DEFCON 2, 3 situation.
Sure.
And then the next thing I do is I text the blonde and I say, "What do we do?" And then she's got it. She remembers all of it.
Yep.
She remembers all the things we did. And I don't. And then when she said, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do remember that." I remember doing
right.
that.
You need to be jarred.
Yeah. There's a lot of things.
I remember from their young times them being really, really cute. I just remember all good things. And I think that's the way we're biologically wired. And it's we can do that again.
Oh, yeah.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, because it's
Daddy.
You're basically,
and
and the little kisses and all that stuff.
Yeah,
sure. The little breath, all that stuff. I think it's mostly very, very good. And I just think at this time, the reason you forget a lot of this is because you're just exhausted all the time. I mean, that's what I remember about it. Other than all the little videos and all the little first crawls, first steps, all that stuff.
Yep.
What I just remember is being exhausted always.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. You're just going to,
and we've been
in that
lucky
for a
on that
while.
regard.
You're very lucky how much you get to sleep. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This was, it's nice out.
It's great. It's now I just want to play golf. Now I'm just get me on the golf course.
You're not playing in this. I mean, do you think tracks are open? I suppose tracks are open, but it's got to be walk only. You can't be having no golf cart on.
No, I mean, and certainly
underwater.
At our club with the Reno, we're far from ready. I actually did a drive-through yesterday when I was in the 2 hours I was trying to just get Luke out of the house.
Yeah.
I did a drive-through.
Little drive-by?
course, and it looks great. They still have a couple of the greens are still completely covered, protected from the elements and whatnot.
Yeah.
Some of the new ones they built, but it's going to be pretty fun.
Do they anticipate it being open?
I don't know. I'm optimistic. Nate says, we're going to be ready to roll in May when we're ready to go. And then other people are saying not until after my birthday, which basically means
oh, geez,
no season,
no
for
summer
me.
For you then.
I know
because yours is pretty much over.
Well, yeah. Plus, Gibbe's trying to send us back to West Virginia.
Why is he doing that?
I don't know.
Gibbe, why do you like putting us away? Do you not like your home?
I played golf. We worked 5 hours a day. Zagura played 27 holes before noon every day.
That is such an erroneous statement.
27 holes all of a sudden before noon.
That's unbelievable.
He's got a 6:40 tee time.
Hold on.
How many?
Hold on. Am I wrong on this?
How many times have we been there?
Twice.
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, you went back-to-back years.
Really, it felt like 3.
Felt like 6, honest to God.
So,
sometimes it felt like you guys went 6 years in a row.
If we were there,
There's a good chance.
If we were there 10 days, is that fair? 10 days in 2 times?
Total?
How about we were there 10 days twice? We were probably there closer to 20 days.
Okay, so I played 27 holes or more before noon on exactly one of those days.
On one of those days.
Just one.
Just one. I remember.
So I said it. And that's true.
So I guess it was true. Yeah.
He said every day is what he said.
He did say every day.
And
yeah.
we're
said
at
we played
5%
golf every
right now.
day.
There's a
Yeah,
big
yeah.
100%.
You played
There's
27 holes.
95% between those two.
It's a big percentage. Yeah, you guys were there the last time a long time.
Yeah, very long time. But you know what? It was one of, while we were there a long time and that was tough, and it was one of the more special times,
Yes.
the last time we went, because we basically got to live with Jim Donovan in what unfortunately turned out to be the last few months of his life.
Yeah.
We got to live with him for that entire time.
Yeah.
We got to have a nice,
Hey,
great meal.
Hey,
Come on. That's where it came out. The Olympics, the Summer Games.
Was it Colin Jost? He couldn't say
Oh,
it.
yeah, he could say Colin
It was
Jost.
Colin
Yeah,
Jost
yeah.
in Bora Bora.
And then
on the
it
surf.
was that. Colin Jost is what got that. And then there were a few things in the opening ceremony montages that he was not
Wasn't
pleased
having.
with at all. Although he was in the opening ceremony montage calling the women's soccer.
He was one of the first things you saw.
Yeah.
was Jimmy
Or her.
Collins
I remember.
soccer.
His
yeah,
call,
heard him.
I mean.
Yeah, his call. Yeah, for sure.
I remember
Brandy Chastain.
I remember how much it tickled him that we would do, hey, come on. Just loved it.
Yeah,
We
he
thought
loved
that was so great.
Because it was
It
great.
so good.
It was good. So that it'll
That made
always
it
be
special.
special
Yeah.
in that regard. The reason I thought 3 times is then I actually went there last year with some
Oh, that's
fellas
right.
for the golf trip.
Yeah.
Which
It's
was
a good setup
great.
for
Oh,
that
it's
type
great.
of stuff. It really is really nice
great.
for it. It's just
Are
hard.
you going to come this time?
No. It's really hard that time of year.
Let me just ask you this. Don't you think it'd be kind of fun, like me, you, Gibbe in a cottage? It would be pretty fun.
That is a
I mean,
big
there would
negative.
be there would be.
according to that
I mean,
side.
do we all have our own space?
Yeah, Ray, you have your own bedroom, bathroom, everything.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it'd
basically
be
like
all
a
right.
beautiful common area, and then there are 4
Yeah.
rooms off that are all suites.
All
They're all master
nice.
suites.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Get yourself your own 4-post
you
bed
were not
with.
sold on this. There was a big moment of silence. I'm a little concerned
No,
about
I
the
was hurt by that,
relationship
yeah.
right now.
No.
And
It's not,
it might be
you know,
Siciliano would be with us.
Well, then I'm definitely not going. I think that the biggest. You have to remember we're coming off of Indy.
Shots fired.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, he knows. Everybody knows Party at Minotti's.
So I was at the Greenbrier right before you guys went. We were there in like the summer of
Right, that's right. You're right,
21-ish
you're right.
maybe, or 22.
You're right.
I was there. So I had just done it when you guys had gone. The golf guys were awesome. But it rained when we were there. So like which was okay, but like we just played golf in the rain a lot. Like it was like misting and we just played because I'm like, we're not coming down here to sit around and look at the artwork.
No, it's a tough. That is a place that you got to be outdoors.
You got to play
be.
golf. You got to do the outdoor
Yeah.
stuff because otherwise, yeah. So yeah, that time of year is just really tough.
Yep.
It's just tough. There's just a lot going on. So but who knows? I can see how Gibby wants to send us back.
Yeah, be careful, by the way. If children are getting on the horse riding there.
Sure. Yeah.
Last time we were on the second tee, and I can't remember which trip it was. I think it was with the Browns because it had to be nice enough weather that people were doing horse riding, and it wasn't necessarily. When I was
Was
there,
it
it
a
wasn't.
carriage or were they
No,
horseback?
Yeah, and like this horse dumped this little kid, and thank God, I thought we were watching this like it was a butterscotch cowboy horse, and it just dumped him right on his noggin out of nowhere, and I'm like,
Butterscotch.
thank goodness this guy was okay.
You got brown spotteds and butterscotch.
Yeah.
Everything for you's Candyland.
That's right. Well, it was the color of the horse's butterscotch. You know who the butterscotch
it's
cowboy
a Palomino.
is?
Palomino.
The
probably
butterscotch
would be
cowboy
official,
is,
or buckskin would be the two.
Owen
colors.
Wilson. I think that was his nickname.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How about the fact that he's basically had the same look for 20 years?
How about the fact that he just is himself in every
movie, every role. There is never
like in
there's
that
no-
golf one, it's just Owen Wilson being Owen Wilson.
Yeah, and he doesn't even
Oh,
change
shucks.
it. In the old days, he would have a different haircut sometimes.
no,
now it's that mop.
Yeah, he's like
hair.
Hansel. Ever since he's been Hansel. in
Ever since he's been
Zoolander.
Hansel, that's all he is. He's had that exact haircut, and he's just him in everything.
That Hansel's so hot right now. He'd burn
Yeah.
my finger if I touched him.
Your photographic recall of you watched that a lot.
Zoolander?
Yeah,
oh,
you
I had
watched that
Zoolander.
a lot.
Not only did I have Zoolander down,
I've seen
I had
it-
the outtakes down.
I think I've only seen Zoolander maybe twice.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe twice.
it's
I don't.
indescribably beautiful. It's glorious.
I know. I've only seen it twice. I've seen in
Man.
GIF form. I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I've only really seen it twice.
All right, I have a couple silly things before we get into serious things. Silly thing number one is that we took young Gabriel, did a little bit of a tour, got to talk with Mr. Rossi and do his renowned impression. I thought Rossi was going to be on the floor crying. He was such a fan of
This happened today?
That happened today.
We took him on the road?
Took him on the road. Like a dog and pony show.
Wow. And he aced it?
Aced it. I told him when I walked there, I said, I think you just made some money. I think you just did some good things. Young Gabriel's out turning around basking in his glory.
Oh, come on, young Gabriel.
He's
He's
so
working
good.
hard today,
You
man.
can feel it in the plums.
The loins.
Loins.
That's right.
Oh, we had a great. It's great. The loins chat got. I don't know if I'll be ever going to find this.
You can find the guy who was pissed about Gibbe and said, "Don't ever. I can't unsee it. Don't ever say that
guy,
again."
Gibby's burner.
Yeah. Gibby's burner.
Oh my gosh, it was a Hey Guys day this morning, so I got a billion mentions today. So okay, I found it. That didn't take so long.
No.
Burner checking in. Goddamn work getting in the way of listening, but the one ask from the total burner community, please never mention Gibbe being pushed from Notorious loins again. Over a week later, still can't shake that mental image. Have a good show, boys.
You're welcome.
Oh, the Notorious one. He did circle back on the loins a lot at the end of the
He
appearance.
did, like
He
so,
really
so,
was big.
so many things were coming out of those
There's a
loins.
lot
Like,
of
whoa,
loins. A lot
that's
of
just-
loin work.
He was like, "What if it goes back in?"
Yeah, I was like, no.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm a little bit, as my
Can't have
friend,
that,
as my
Godfather.
friend Ryan Novak said, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
He gets the extra syllable. In
He
there.
gets that in
Yeah,
there?
Uncomfortable.
there you go. So young Gabriel, good job. You had
Young Gabriel.
Another note.
No, honestly, like there's a lot of pressure in those situations, and he just walked in there and just absolutely crushed it.
Look at him celebrating.
Yeah, as he
don't,
should.
I don't know that there's any pressure because he is prepared.
Because you know it's good.
He knows it's good.
It's just like-
we know it's good. Like all he's got to do is do it. The only pressure was in what do I say?
Yes.
And so once he did the dry run with us of what to say,
Oh yeah.
then I knew he would be safe.
Oh, he crushed it. And he didn't even he actually even gave them some of his material for the Big L Luminary. He hit them with some of that material, and that really brought
That brought the house down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, I could see that.
It was really good. Oh, and then the other thing is, so I'm having my chicken noodle soup. It's Wednesday. Duh.
I had that today.
Yeah. There
For
you
lunch.
go.
Nice little
All
lunch.
the way down here, the great Holly Sandy and her awesome team. Lavelle, legend. They always do a chicken noodle on a Wednesday. And so I'm walking up, got my chicken noodle. Also a little stir fry day, a little chicken and broccoli. It was delightful. And all of a sudden, two people sitting there kind of stopped me on the stairs.
Okay.
Heard you talking about the mall walking. And they were the perpetrators of the mall walk.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
want, believe it or not, and I said, you're just walking into a bloodbath, and just so you know, they want to come on here and defend the mall walk. And I said, well, we're happy to put you on trial. You won't be the first. You won't be the last. You'll be a
doesn't
long
go well.
I
line.
love both of them as humans.
You'll be in a long line
I
of
cannot
just-
allow because they would be dead. 30
Oh,
seconds.
crushed.
It's not even a trial.
crushed.
It would be over.
Because I told them because of them, we now, when you mall walk somebody, you have
There's no coming back.
crushed
from
them.
Being
that's a
a
verb.
mall walker.
It's a verb now. It's a
over.
verb to get mall
It's done.
walked. Yeah.
I mean, you do it when you're old. People used to do it like in the morning in cold climates. They go
For
walk
sure.
the mall. Okay,
That's
fine.
how you get your
get your steps
your
in.
cardio.
Sure.
course.
6 o'clock on a Saturday. Come on.
Dr. J ready to go to like Vegas's finest.
Yeah, he's ready to go live. Tomcat around.
He's ready to go to Hotlanta.
Yeah, he's ready to go make things happen.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, look at
He's ready to go. Kid's ready to
and
go.
by the way, we've seen him at the combine. We've seen him in action. We know what he's capable of.
Well,
It's impressive.
I know that he, from what I can tell, is, I guess the analogy would be based on the story that I heard. I'll be careful. I'll be okay. I'll land the plane on this.
Of course.
From what I can
You're
tell,
like Sully.
Sure, I'm the captain now. Irish. I believe what I would describe based on the story that I got from the combine
Yes.
is that Dr. J is the equivalent of like a combine star, but not necessarily somebody who's ready to play in games.
Little Mike Mamula to it.
That's what I think. I think that, boy, look at that kid run. Look at him jump. But can he actually play?
He was close
and
to
it looks
being,
like we couldn't maybe get all the way on the field.
the jury's still out. Listen, you go from the combine, you don't get drafted
No,
until April. You're not on
you
the
have-
field till September.
You have a series of days where you have got to close.
Always be cobbling. Right now. I'm calling him the Sonny Styles of the Indianapolis Combine.
He certainly has a potential to be. It's just up to
And
him.
we got him on creatine shoes now. Look out.
He's on creatine shoes too.
That's right. That's right.
What an impact you're making on people's lives.
Yeah, that's
Now
what
we're
I try
running
to
a
do.
drugstore.
That's what I try to do. What give I say?
Kimmy goes, well, we're running a drugstore. It's the off season. What do you got to run drugstores?
I mean, what else are we going to do? We're going to
Today's
Minotti's.
going to
We're
Minotti's.
going to
Clearly
Minotti's.
going to Minotti's.
Minotti's.
There ought to be a delivery truck
There was last week.
downstairs after all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a first Friday after all.
It is a first Friday. Act accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way that could go. All right. We got a lot going on here. A lot going on. What do you got? Can't share it?
In the break, I'll read it.
All right. The first 30 visits have kicked off. That is happening. Can we do this? I mean, you guys have it in here, so I guess should I just read it Burgundy style?
I mean,
you
he
put
did have
parentheses. So
the-
before I read this, just so behind the curtain, you have this in the rundown, and then there's a parentheses. If we are allowed to report this yet.
No. No, I don't believe we are.
All right. Well, then
No.
All right.
No.
that's out.
That's a negatory, good buddy. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
You used to like that when people used to number 2 pencil, and they go, and then
Yeah.
Get yourself some good
Do they know
lead
they're licking
poisoning.
lead?
I don't. In those days, nobody cared.
No one cared.
They would do that. Remember that?
Yeah. It's outrageous.
No.
My bad.
I don't know what
didn't
that
mean to
did,
put you
by
in
the
that
way.
spot.
What did it mean? What did it do?
Got the lead really going. Got it juiced up.
I don't know that it needed it.
It's called reconstitution.
I guess. All right. So then we won't get
Who
into that.
Who put that in here? That's funny.
Combination of Gibby and young Gabriel.
It was
No.
a combination. I didn't go back and verify.
Well, that's why you've got. I listen. I like that you're trying to keep us sharp. Off season, we're going to keep the big B sharp. Sometimes
Thankfully-
we're going to
thankfully
throw
I
things.
stopped.
I don't want
Sometimes
to.
we're going to throw things.
Let's be footloose and fancy free, but let's know that going in. And
We're going to throw things in the teleprompter, and we're going to see what happens.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
We'll be
I stopped.
You did.
like
You
a
did fine
legend.
job.
Yeah.
I stopped.
Yeah.
Big trade today, blockbuster around the league. This happened around noon. The Los Angeles Rams acquiring all-pro corner Trent McDuffie. He did so from the Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting the 29th pick, a 5th, a 6th, and a 3rd. Since 2017, the Rams have used their own first-round pick only one time, 2024 Jared Verse. Well, that was worth it. They've traded their
you
pick
believe
9 times. Now, by the way, they do have another one. They're still
Correct.
picking
They've,
it.
they've had years where they've had
multiple ones. Yeah. So they trade theirs again, and then the one time they use it on Jared Verse, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
The Chiefs get 29-5, a 5th rounder, a 6th rounder, in 2027 3rd. The Chiefs now own 9 and 29 overall. This is the second time in 3 years the Chiefs have traded a starting corner instead of paying them. This is also a little bit reminiscent of the Tyreek Hill, like all pro. We're gonna have to pay him. Let's get some assets and rebuild this thing.
Didn't they also? Didn't the Rams also do a trade with them for Marcus Peters?
So the
think you're-
Rams have made multiple trades, but they've also, when they've made their trades, they've made them with like the same teams. So in 2017, they traded their first-round pick to the Titans. 2018 to
Well,
the
because that was
Patriots.
part of the Goff deal to get Goff in 16 to jump to 1 and jump in front of us to take Jared Goff, which is one of those great history divergent moments.
2019 traded the Falcons. 2020 and 2021 to both years to the Jags.
So 18 was for Brandon Cooks. 2020 and 2021 was for Jalen Ramsey
22 and 23 were both to the Lions.
for Stafford, along with Jared Goff.
That's right.
Both of those picks and Jared Goff.
They took Verse in 24.
Yep.
They traded to the Falcons in 25
Yep.
again for the second time. And then this year they traded to the Chiefs.
So they send 29 to the Chiefs. They keep 13. So they have 13 to pick as well. The Chiefs, you got to think the Chiefs are maybe going to take because the Chiefs now have 9 and 29.
Yep.
So you think the Chiefs maybe would be in the market to take one of the top corners right there at 9
Well,
and hope
here's
they
the
can
other-
replace them.
I mean, now you're building up draft capital. Are you trying to move up?
Who?
Kansas
Chiefs?
City.
Move up for what?
I don't know.
I don't
like,
think so.
Where there's conversation that with Love, is he going to be there by the time you get to 9? Are you going to need to move up?
Jeez,
how high would you have to go? I think Tennessee could take him. Tennessee's probably fans are thinking, oh, we really liked it when we had that Derrick Henry fella. That worked out pretty well for us.
Sure.
Maybe we'll get Jeremiah Love with Cam Ward and let's see what we can do.
I was trying to. Who is the best corner in this draft? Who are the best corners?
Mansour Delane. Is it Delaney? Delane?
The kid from his
from
LSU
LSU
brother was at Ohio State last year.
Or Jermad McCoy from Tennessee.
How could I? So I'm on the ESPN NFL draft page. I'm on positions.
Yep.
And I click on it, and there's nobody loaded in.
NFL's still got
What are we
last year's
doing?
people, which
What are we
makes
doing?
no sense to me at all.
Mansour Delane. Yeah. Jermon McCoy, Colton Hood. Tennessee had, two of the top 4 corners were at Tennessee.
So this is, let's see, whose is this? Well, we've got Jordan Reed's, which we'll go through later, but we'll look at just for the corners, not for all the fun. But the corners, he's got Mansour Delane going to the Bengals, pick 10. I'm sure Mansour would not like that because if you're a first-round off defensive pick of the Bengals, it ends up bad.
Yep.
So that would be he does not have. He has Avion Terrell of Clemson going 20.
Okay.
Jermad McCoy 29 to the Rams, believe it or not, on the pick that was just traded.
Okay.
And then Colton Hood 32 to Seattle. He also has the first pick of round 2, Brandon Cisse, I don't know,
Yep.
Cisse from South Carolina. The Gamecocks to the Jets.
Probably has Igbinosin somewhere in the second round as well, would be my guess.
So there you go. That's Jordan Reed. Dane Brugler put out his 2-round mock draft as well. So there's a lot of things going on now. A lot of things going on in the mix.
Yeah, to me, this is the Rams saying they're always all in, but we're going to win a Super Bowl with Stafford before he retires.
And what's interesting is a lot of people had pegged the Rams actually at pick 29 to be a team that, and this one obviously took a corner, but that Ty Simpson, that they were maybe going to succession plan. They had 2 ones finally. They'd use that second one on Simpson, groom him behind Stafford, and let him take over, be the heir apparent. So that would be
how do you feel about that? Like if you're them and you are, I mean, by the time we get to next season, if they're not the best roster in football, they're on a very short list. You're in a window where your quarterback played perfect in 2 games and you lost 2 games.
Yep.
So you're as close to being the Super Bowl champions as can be. You could sit at that
Special
pick and
teams.
draft somebody. Absolutely. Picks. I'll save those comments. You can sit at that and maybe draft a starter on a team, or you can draft a backup quarterback who's succession planning for down the road. It's a very interesting team building conversation.
I think the question is, do you want, this goes back to the Packers, do you want to be a Super Bowl championship team? Do you want to win a Super Bowl?
Yep.
You've already won one. Or do you want to just try to ensure that you are, for a long, 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 long time, generationally, good? And if you look at the Packers, they picked Aaron Rodgers when they had Brett Favre. They picked Jordan Love when they had Rodgers. Now, when they picked Jordan Love, that could have ended up being a very valuable receiver that they needed very badly, and it wasn't. And so that you would say, man, they should have just done something that helps them now, worry about the future then. So I can see both sides of it. I think from the Rams' perspective, the time when you're able to do something like that luxuriously and luxuriate in it is when you have the 2 ones because you made a deal the year before and you still were a muff punt away from winning the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So you're saying, okay, we know we're good enough. We still get to add at 13, our top player there.
Yep.
And now at 29, because we have this luxury, we're able to also get somebody for the future.
Okay. This is one of my favorite sports debates.
Let's do it.
That we stumbled into. It's easier with baseball because you can say, would you rather be the Kansas City Royals or the Cleveland Indians/Guardians? So if you're our age, you would have maybe some very early memories of the 85 World Series as a very young child. And you definitely would remember the World Series that they won a couple of years ago. Now it's probably almost 10 when they won.
They go back-to-back World Series that
They
year?
played for it twice. They won it once.
That's right.
But they played for it twice. They played for it in back-to-back years. whereas the Guardians/Indians have never won anything, but really since the early 90s have been relevant almost always. Been in the playoffs a ton, but haven't won it. Meantime, the Royals fall off a cliff. I mean, an even better example of this in terms of the one-off would be the White Sox, who won the World Series in, 2005 and have been completely irrelevant largely since, and outside of the Frank Thomas years, largely irrelevant before. So, like, if you're a sports fan, which do you prefer? The one time where you scale the mountain, or never getting all the way to the top of the mountain, but ascending many smaller mountains along the way?
I think you play to win the game, and when you win a championship, it is immortal. So I think you'd rather be a team that has won the championship.
I agree. I think I probably lean your way, but from a sports fan perspective, I could also see how the other one would have its pluses because what the other one gives you hope always. You always have a shot.
That means it also ends in disappointment.
Always ends in heartbreak.
Yes.
It always does.
Whereas,
but there's always a chance. Whereas, I mean, how many seasons in the last 30 years have the Royals or White Sox gone into with no shot? None.
I guarantee you, if you asked Kyle Shanahan, my father,
that's a good one,
and anybody, if he would have taken the Niners being a one-year wonder where they went on and won the Super Bowl, or if they had been as consistent as they've been for the last 8 years with two Super Bowl appearances and 2 losses, no wins, I think they would all take the one win.
You know who's a pretty good one for this? It's the NFL. So that's the best. Very close, always win. Not win
think
at
about
all.
the Bengals in the Marvin Lewis era. They won the division a ton of times with Andy Dalton. They never won in the postseason.
It's probably better. The better example is probably Weish with the Bengals in the 80s with 2 Super Bowl appearances, lost them both, always in the mix, good teams.
Who'd they lose to?
I don't know, forgot. So if Kyle,
Joe Montana.
If Kyle is the example of that, being the consistently but never getting all the way to the mountain, are the Bucks the answer? Are they the answer to the other side of that?
Milwaukee in NBA?
No.
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay. So they have the Brady year.
Yep.
They have the defense Dilfer year.
Yep.
But other than that, not much.
No, they would take that in.
Would you rather have that? If it was just one, like let's say that we just make it to the last 20 years, and you're the Bucks and you have the one Super Bowl championship, or you have the Niners and you've played in the Super Bowl a bunch. Every year you go, well, they could win the Super Bowl this year too, and that's really Harbaugh through Shanahan.
Niners have played in 3 in the last 15 years.
I mean, Kyle played in just 2 or 3.
Kyle's been in 2,
and then
Harbaugh against the Ravens. What year was that? That
was 12 or 13.
Yeah, so in the last 13 years, they've been in 3.
Yeah,
no wins. Yes, they would take 1 win and 12 years of stink. 100%.
Yeah, I think you would too. But it's an interest. I think
it's immortal.
It's easier. About. It's easier in baseball because it's harder because it's over a much bigger time frame that you can do it.
I'll say this:
there aren't many. Like I have the list of Super Bowl champions up. I was trying to find like a true one-year wonder Super Bowl champion in terms of like something that just came out of nowhere. Probably the closest would be like the Arizona Cardinals if they would have beat the Steelers in that Super Bowl.
They're still solid for a few years, but you're always going to be solid for a couple of years. You're saying like one run at it. Where
I'm just
you get
talking
a
like
Super
one
Bowl.
run. It all came together.
I mean, the
NFL
Seahawks team could be that.
Yeah, but they won the Super Bowl with the other group.
Right, but that's another group.
But it's not that far ago. I mean, that's the thing in the NFL. Like I'm back into the 90s.
The Cowboys, who are always relevant, would for sure trade one Super Bowl win in the last 20 years.
It was right under my nose. It's the Bears.
The Bears.
85 Bears. They have one legendary team. Now they got to the Super Bowl one other time with Rex Grossman and Urlacher in that operation, and they're good now. But largely, they weren't. So, but they've got the one win. That's in the distance now.
I'll frame it another way. In the 2018 draft,
would you rather be the Bears and the Bills over the last 45 years?
Bears.
The Bears. I was going to say, look at that draft. Would you rather be Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, Josh Allen, MVP, Bake has been a multiple-time Pro Bowler, or Sam Darnold?
Yeah, if you do it the quarterback way.
You'd rather be Sam Darnold.
Yeah. You just won the Super Bowl.
And they would all trade to be that. So this is what the point I was going to make about the Niners is. So last time the Niners won a Super Bowl that counts was, Joe Montana's last Super Bowl. They won another one.
Why did the other
not
one
discussed? It's not discussed.
It's funny because I have the list up and
they beat a
Charger.
They were
too.
18-point
I think it was
favorites.
I think it was a
preseason
record-breaking
game against Stan Humphries.
I think it was a record-breaking Super Bowl.
But I thought the whole point was, because they had beaten the Cowboys in
That
the
was
NFC,
nice.
which was the
That
Super
was
Bowl,
nice.
and that
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
significant
That was
win.
at Jim Dan's house.
Were you rooting for them or rooting for the Cowboys?
Let's room for the Niners. It doesn't matter. So my dad and I, because of these Super Bowls,
Yeah.
and even if there was just one, and even if it wouldn't have just been that one, obviously.
No, of course.
But it's not like we talk about the Tim Rattay doldrums ever. That never comes up when they had
But
the
that's
ugly.
not-
And we never talk about, though, when Jeff Garcia was there and they were solid, or when Alex Smith was there and they were solid and went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We never talk about those teams ever.
No, no, of course not. But the Niners are an unfair example because you have all those Super Bowls, right? So they're a little bit of an unfair. It would be like if
the Bengals had won their one in 21 with Burrow, they would have given up the entirety of the Andy Dalton experience.
Yeah.
They would have said, we didn't care if we came in last in the division every year that we won the division with Andy Dalton and Marvin Lewis and Hugh Jackson and all those guys.
We won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would trade that one Super Bowl for the decade of being really, really good with
Yeah.
Chad Ochocinco and TJ Houshmandzadeh, AJ Green,
Yeah.
that whole era.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
Yeah,
Give
it's
us
an
the
interesting.
Super
So
Bowl.
I guess what we're saying is if we're the Rams, to sum it up, go win the Super Bowl.
They've won one, so that's why I think now they've won it
Yeah,
with
but
this
they
guy.
want one more desperately with
For
this
sure.
guy. That was 5 years ago.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean they
I can't believe it was 5 years ago.
It was a 21 season.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they want one more
For sure.
with this guy. So go all in to go do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think they're in a new position with the 2-1s with the luxury of it. But
Yeah.
it's moot now.
So yeah, you're right.
They traded that pick.
It's done.
That's it.
Here's
And
some
turned it
news for
into
you. A stud.
a real player.
A dude. The Hall of Fame game is set. It's the Panthers and the Cardinals. You knew it was going to be this way. It's Kuechly and Fitzgerald going in on Hall of Fame weekend. So there you go. That is your Hall of Fame game this year.
Canales LaFleur.
Yeah? Who's quarterbacking those two teams?
Not Bryce Young in that game.
No, he's not.
It might be
That stinks, by
might
the
be
way. They
Andy
don't give him
Dalton.
a drive. The old days give him a drive.
Yeah. Andy
people at
Dalton against
I don't know who.
maybe Jacoby. Maybe Jacoby gets the start in that one.
Oh, they'll probably draft somebody, right?
They'll draft
wouldn't
somebody.
play the
They'll
person
have
they
Jacoby. They
draft,
might
but-
bring in Jimmy Grapes.
Jimmy Grapes on the side. Could be. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospital, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. It was a podium day today, kids. You got to meet your coordinators. You're going to hear from offensive coordinator Travis Switzer. Almost. It's gonna. I'm just so used to
You
saying it
saved
the
it.
other
You
way, but we
saved it.
saved it. We saved it. You're going to hear from Trav coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. Be a part of one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. Become a season ticket member today. Join us Huntington Big Field for all home games this year. Visit Browns.com/tickets now. We head to the podium presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase official fan experience package A for the ultimate game day. Your new offensive coordinator, Travis Switzer.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. Appreciate everybody being here. I just want to start off by saying how excited my family and I are to be here in Cleveland. As I'm sure most of you guys know, I went to the University of Akron, so Northeast Ohio is no stranger to me. I understand what football means to this area of the country, and I understand what the Browns mean to Cleveland. So that's something we don't take lightly, and we're very excited about. Just a couple thank yous that would like to send out. First of all, to the Haslams and JW for giving us the opportunity to come here. Coach Monken, Andrew Barry, for having the trust in me and the belief in me to bring me here. Coach Harbaugh, who I worked for 9 years in Baltimore, giving me really a chance in coaching, and having a vision for me. And then last but certainly not least, my family, my beautiful wife, Rebecca. You guys see a little bit of our schedule. It takes a special person to be married to us, a very special and strong person. She is certainly that, and a lot more. And our two sons, Lewis and Archie, who will probably watch this after they get off school today. So listen to mommy, do your homework. With that, open it up to questions.
Travis, you've been around Todd the last 3 years. How much is that sort of, do you feel like you sort of developed like a same like wavelength? I mean, you feel like you've gone on the same wavelength with them, and how much does that kind of allow you to maybe push, I don't want to say push back, but kind of a little more give and take when you guys talk about philosophy, play call, those sorts of things?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Monk and I were great from day one, and our relationship has certainly built from that. Getting a little more comfortable with each other. I think how he thinks, and the more we can kind of do that, the better the operation is going to be. As far as like pushback and all that, that's not really how he operates. I mean, he's a collaborative guy. He wants to listen. And then we decide together, and he believes that with him and I, the whole staff. I mean, that's his philosophy, and it's been like that since I met him, so.
Travis, you were the run game coordinator in Baltimore, so now you're the offensive coordinator. So how much role do you have in the creation of the running game here?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of refer back to what I just said there. I mean, we're going to be a collaborative approach. Monk says this all the time, obviously, as the guy who's calling it. You have good players, you have a great staff. He feels like he can call it freely. So that's our job, you know what I mean? And we're all going to work together so that we all feel that way, including the players.
Have you studied the Browns quarterbacks here? And if so, what do you think of each of them?
A little bit. Obviously, that's something we started when we first got here. And I'm excited about the guys we have here. I mean, Monk said this in his opening press conference. I mean, you don't take a job if you're not excited about quarterbacks that are in the building. And it's more than one. We're excited about Dylan. We're excited about Deshaun. Anytime you have a guy who has had the success that he's had, I mean, he's got to be part of the equation as far as when we talk about competing for that job. And then Shador and what he was able to show last year. He's still young. He has a lot of growth that he can still achieve, especially year one to year two. I mean, he only started 6-7 games last year. So, I think there's a lot to be excited about in that room.
Travis, what is the day-to-day, speaking specifically to your role as run game coordinator, what does the day-to-day look like, and how do you think that will, what value do you think that will bring as you really take on this larger role? Because I remember Mike McDaniel was run game coordinator of the 49ers, and it was he was just in his office drawing up plays. But what did the day-to-day look like for you? And
I mean, it was like I said, we had our areas, but it was a very collaborative approach in Baltimore as well. Obviously, now as the offensive coordinator, you'll have a hand in a little bit, of other parts of the game as well, a little bit more than I did. But yeah, as far as the day-to-day, I mean, we're all studying our areas, trying to figure out how to attack teams, and then coming up with things and tweaking it when we all get together, to figure out the best way to attack somebody and the best way to play.
Just along the lines of quarterbacks and what stands out to you, obviously there's going to be a lot of new additions on the offensive side through the draft and free agency, but as the roster as it stands with the guys you have, what stood out to you is something that excites you, the things that excite you about taking this role and running this offense?
Yeah, I mean, there's pieces here that we are excited about. I mean, Fannin, it starts with Fannin, Judy, Shadur and what he was able to show last year, Deshaun and what he's shown in his past, and Dylan and what he was able to show last year as well. The offensive line obviously is something that we're going to be looking to add to, and in addition to develop, the guys that we have here. With Whippler, possibly Joel. I know it's certainly going to come up as well, but we're allowing him some time to kind of figure that out. But there's a lot of pieces here to be excited about. It kind of goes on what I said about the quarterback room. I mean, you don't take a job unless you're excited about the pieces that you have.
With that said, what are some of like the traits and things that you guys philosophically kind of want in a quarterback and look for in a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be an elite leader and decision maker. I mean, that's where it kind of starts. Somebody said this. I remember hearing it years ago. It might have been Marino or somebody. As a quarterback, you got to be able to throw 4 picks in the first quarter and step into the huddle in the second half, look your guys in the eye, and they still believe you can go win the game for them. So that's one of those things that you got to have. And I don't know if you can coach that. I don't know. I think it certainly helps. You can develop that through preparation and then having success, and now you have confidence in your own process and all those things, and that does start to develop. But yeah, those are all things that we'd be looking for.
The combine, Todd talked about bringing the offense you guys ran in Baltimore to Cleveland. He said if you believe in things, you just have to stick with it. What would you say are the most important traits that you say the Todd Monken Switzer offense will have?
Yeah, I mean, that can be a very broad thing. I mean, there's certain non-negotiables, if you will, which when you start to look at it, there's not a ton of them. Hey, we're going to take care of the football. We're going to score touchdowns in the red zone, right? We want our guys to be tough, physical, and play fast, right? And then the methods and how that comes together is very wide. And of course, it's going to be built around who you have. That's where it starts. And that's where I think Coach Monk has succeeded in multiple spots that he's had. I mean, there's been people who said, what system does he come from, And I think that's why, because he's able to mold to who he has.
Travis, just to go back to your time in college and reading about your career and making 36 consecutive starts, how did your time as a college athlete and your time at Akron kind of inform you as a coach now, do you think, and just your path getting into the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, when you're at that age in life, I think there's a lot of growth that happens no matter where you are. And for me, it was at Akron, and I love my time there. Was able to grow into a man there. Obviously playing, in Division I football, it teaches you a lot of lessons. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more complimentary in my time at Akron, and it certainly helped mold me into the coach and the person I am today.
When you talk about that you're excited about the quarterbacks that you guys have in the room right now, when you look at what you have, and I'm sure you've watched plenty of film on those guys, if nobody else shows up on the doorstep, do you guys feel like right now you have what you need to accomplish your offensive goals for 2026?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, those things, they tend to work themselves out as far as who that's going to be. That's why, like I said, it's an open competition, and the decision of when that'll be, we don't know. But those things, they have a way. Players win spots, and they have a way of kind of working themselves out. But yeah, we're excited that that's here in the building.
How is it that you never became an offensive line coach?
I don't know. This coaching thing is weird, man. I mean, I think you kind of find a niche, and you just try to ride the wave, and just keep coming with the opportunities that come to you. And you try to do a great job at the job that you have, and then kind of let everything else take care of itself. So when I first started, I was actually in the weight room, which I thought was an awesome way to start. I was able to probably interact with the players a lot more than what a normal QC role would, or GA or something like that, because you're with them every day, and then I was able to learn football because, I mean, I knew nothing, at that time, and I was able to kind of learn football and get up to speed that way to where I could provide some value, a year or two down the road. So I would just say it's kind of the way it fell for me. I think I've always had a pretty big picture approach, and outlook to things. So maybe that's what it is. But, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of the way it fell for me, and trying to ride the wave.
How did you end up at Akron?
So I only had 2 offers. I wasn't a huge recruit. And just like anywhere else, I mean, you fall in love with the staff, and you fall in love with a place. and you go and you visit and it just feels right. It's very similar to walking in this building every day. You just kind of know it when you feel it, and that's kind of helped that decision for me.
How do you assess your wide receiver room?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously something that we're looking at right now too. Anytime you have somebody very similar to the Deshaun point, you got Jerry Jeudy, who is a very talented player, and that'll be something that we're looking to try to tap into. A skill player's production year to year, I mean, there's just so many variables that go into that. You know what I mean? I think you can overthink things a lot of times outside of that individual player's control. So we'll be looking at all those things, and we're very excited about Jeudy and Bond, and then obviously like I said, I mean, I think we include some tight ends in that as well with Fannon's skill set. So we're very excited about our pass catchers here.
Travis, when you were talking about your Akron days, did you ever come to any Browns games with your players?
Browns, I don't think we ever got to one. It was kind of hard because you're playing and you're worried about it. We did go to a couple now Guardians games, and they were great. I mean, yeah, it was a fun time down here.
How about
up here.
How about Quinshon? Have you had a chance to meet Quinshon yet? And what do you think that you have in him as soon as he's ready to go?
Yeah, so very excited about Judkins. Haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I'm excited about that. But he was somebody that well before I came here, being in the AFC North for 9 years, I mean, you get some crossover tape where the Browns show up, and as soon as he started kind of bursting onto the scene, I was like, man, who's this guy? And so very excited about him. Sampson as well. I mean, I think we have a lot of really good talent in the running back room.
Being on the opposing sideline for so long, what did you see out of this team as a whole? Playing them twice in the division every year, like as a whole, that made you excited to come here?
Yeah, they're a very physical outfit that I thought played hard. I mean, obviously we were on the offensive side of it there, so playing against our defense here now, which I'm happy I can now say. I mean, ton of respect for the way that they played the game, and you can see that on tape when it jumps off the tape like that, and the effort and the finish and the physicality, that's something you respect, and we certainly respected them.
You mentioned Fannin a couple times already, and you guys were so good with your tight ends in Baltimore. Why does he get you so excited?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's a matchup type of player, that can put the defense in situations that are hard. I mean, how do they match? Who do they put on them? Because he's versatile, he's able to do multiple things to where, like I said, you can really put the defense in a tough position as far as matchups go.
Travis, just with the O-line, and I know you mentioned Joel, obviously, and you guys waiting on that, but looking at how many new starters there could be here this year, like, how do you feel about that process and how you are going to help get them up to speed and everything?
I mean, yeah, well, everybody's new to us. So, we got here, obviously, it was our first year installing our system. But yeah, it's going to be a combination of developing the guys we have and adding guys if we can. And at that position, obviously I played it, haven't really been involved in coaching it a whole lot, but they are the heartbeat and the tone setters of your offense. And a lot of times it turns into them for the entire team as well, them and the defensive line. So it starts with getting guys who play the way that we want to see, and that's getting after people, running off the ball, throwing your hands in pass pro and finishing, and we have some of those guys here. And then we're going to add more of them as well. So, yeah, we're excited about the future of that position.
Do you know whether you'll be up or down on game days yet?
Most likely the booth. Monk and I haven't talked in depth about that yet. That's where we were in Baltimore, but yes, yeah.
Did you know Todd before you were in Baltimore?
I didn't. I mean, I knew who he was, but no, I didn't. I mean, him and I met 3 years ago, and have really developed a great relationship.
When have you learned about him? And obviously he's stepping into a new role for him, and I know he's thrilled about it. What makes you think he's the right guy for this job?
Yeah, so the first thing, like if you were to just say Todd Monken, like what's the first thing that kind of comes to my mind is passion. And I've said this to a lot of people, like he would have been great anywhere. He is perfect for here. And I truly believe that. I mean, the city, the players, the building, they're going to see his passion, and I think that's going to rub off on people, and it's going to be great.
Did you learn any new words from Todd in the booth?
Yeah. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, but no, I mean, yeah, that goes part of the passion, and Yeah, there's plenty of times where we had some laughs up there, certainly.
Todd will be afforded significant say in the starting quarterback. Do you feel like you'll be able to really collaborate with him on that and have a sort of voice in who you guys decide upon?
I think it's going to be a collaboration of me in addition to our entire staff. I mean, that's just the way he's always operated with everything. So, yeah, I think that'll apply there, too.
You had such a unique situation with Lamar and then that run game and Derrick Henry for that matter. How would you, what's the process of trying to adapt your run game to an offense that doesn't have the best running quarterback in the league?
That's a great question. And I think it can carry on past the run game as well. So I think that goes back to how your system is built from day one. It needs to be built in a way that is multiple enough that you can stress the defense in a variety of ways and also cater it to your players, and who you have. And I mentioned that earlier. I mean, I think that's something that Monk has been elite at, and we were able to do in Baltimore as well. So if the system's built in the right way from the jump, you're able to move down this avenue or move down this avenue and then expand on that. But it goes back to how it's built in day one. Like I said, multiple enough that you can stress the defense, cater it to your players, but then also designed in a great way and tight enough to where you can execute at a high level and you're still complementary, within the system.
You mentioned giving Joel some time to obviously figure out what he wants to do, but Todd sort of joked last week that he had a chance to see him in his office and was already sort of trying to talk to him right there about coming back. So have you had a chance to give your pitch to Joel, and just how valuable would it be if he decides he still wants to keep playing for you and come back?
Yeah, I mean, so I have a ton of respect for Joel. Obviously, I've never coached him before. I've never been on the same team as him. But just from what I've heard with guys who have, the way he approaches the game, he's a pro. And then obviously I've seen him on tape, so I've already respected that part of it. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. He's been up with Hop and Monk, and I missed him that day. So I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe we can kind of scatter this out and keep hitting him a little bit here and there, but also respecting his space and allowing him to make the best decision for him and his family.
Joel wouldn't be the first, but I'm sure, but he's older than you. How do you coach a player that's older than you?
I mean, yeah, so I've been in the NFL as a coach since I was 24 years old. So that was something that I've had to think of, for the last 9-10 years. It doesn't matter. Once you prove to them that you can help them, they don't care where it comes from, and the relationship that you build is really what's most important, not your age, where you come from, any of those things. Once you can get a relationship going with the guys and they see that you can help them, then you got them, and then that's when it really takes off from there.
You spent a lot of time in Hershey Park growing up in Lancaster.
We went a few times. I remember when they built Storm Runner. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how old I was, but yeah, they probably have like 10 more rides since that one. But yeah, we went sometimes.
From a mobility standpoint, what do you think of Shador's ability to run the offense the way that you and Todd are going to want to run?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly mobile enough. I mean, we've seen him get out of trouble. We've seen him make plays. I mean, he's certainly mobile enough to do everything that we would want to do. And then, I mean, last year we had Cooper Rush on the roster as well. So, that's kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, just about the way the system's built from day one, so that you're able to kind of go down these other avenues when you have to highlight what your guys can do. That's something that Coach says all the time. Like, hey, what can he do? And something Harbs used to say to the guys too, everybody's here for a reason. Let's make sure you're elite at what you're elite at. We're going to work on everything else, but let's be elite at what you're elite at, because that's what we're going to use you for, in the majority of the situations.
What kind of influences did you just mention, John Harbaugh? Just what kind of influence has he had on you as a coach and the way you kind of developed?
Yeah, we'd need a longer time allotment here for that one, but yeah, he's got so many things that I've taken. The biggest thing I would say is, and he used to say this all the time, is be you, but be the best you. Everybody else is taken, so you got to be who you are. I think that can be. It's easier said than done sometimes too. It really is. You know what I mean? That's a good reminder just all the time. Hey, man, be you. Be you. Have confidence in who you are. And go about coaching and really life that way.
How do you strike the balance? You know, we talk a lot about mobility in the quarterback position, and obviously Lamar is maybe the perfect example of that. But how do you strike the balance of, you know, allowing, you know, those instincts, those mobile athleticism traits to shine, but also understanding that, like, you also do still want a quarterback at the position. You want them to, you know, run the offense and play from the pocket, you know, more times than not.
Yeah, another great question. I think that part starts with knowing the situation, and when we can take a little more risks, you know, and when you can't. But it's hard, especially with guys who can run around. A lot of times they make it right, you know. So I think you just got to continue to talk to them about, hey, when are we in Superman mode, and when are we in, like, let's take the profit mode? You know what I mean? Because you don't want to take that away from guys. We just talked about, hey, make sure you're elite at what you're elite at. That is a lot of those guys' superpower. It's just how do we channel that and harness it, or harness it into, you know, something that is good for the team and for the offense.
Travis, you were at the combine all week, so what did you do there? What was your role? Were you in the interviews? What was your role?
Yeah, in the interviews, watching workouts, and the way the combine's structured now too, you have a lot of dead time in the afternoon. So, like, I had the computer set up in the hotel room. You're able to watch some tape, you know, and kind of go through things that way. But yeah, that's basically what it was.
What are your thoughts on Deshaun, where he is right now? Maybe you've seen some of his practice film from last December, or maybe some of the workouts that he's doing right now. But what are your thoughts on where he's at from a skill set and what he has left standpoint?
You said Deshaun? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think we're all very excited to find out when he gets in the building. But I don't know the details. I mean, I know that he said he feels good, and we'll just kind of see how that all goes. But yeah, obviously, anytime you have a guy who's had that amount of success and put on tape what he's put on tape, you're very excited about it.
When it comes to your time as a center specifically, how did that shape the way you view offense and maybe even view an offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, the center is the communicator, you know, and all the calls and everything starts with him. So I think that outlook on it helped me to maybe be a little bit more big picture, but at the same time having to be really focused on the four guys that were around me. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the extension of, much like the quarterback, you know, he is the tip of the spear up there. So yeah, that's a huge position.
How much of a relief is it that you don't have to game plan for Myles Garrett now?
I mean, you can't underestimate or can't overstate how much of a relief that is. Yeah, it's a pain. We'll just have to watch him wreck our practice now every once in a while. But yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Really likable dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots to like about Coach Switzer there. We'll get to the second hour of the program coming up next. We'll get the other side coordinator as well as the rest of the news of the day around the National Football League. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. All right, the new Rumpke Recycling Resource Center helps feed the circular economy, supplying Ohio companies and others in the Midwest with material they need to put what you place in your bins to good use. Learn more about the facility and how you can recycle more. Visit rumpke.com today for more. Another name hitting the free agent pile, it is Stephon Diggs, as he will be given his release as well. Is this Matt Bowen with this list? His top 100 free agents?
Yes, sir.
It's an interesting one because I saw another one today that had Malik Willis number 1 overall, and I thought that is something. And I actually quizzed my compatriots in the morning, how many starts do you think he had last year?
Last year or
last
his career?
Last year.
I think he has had 6 in his career, so my guess is it would obviously be some number lower than 3.
He had 2. Yeah, 2 starts last year. Just 35 pass attempts last year for him. Now, he's incredibly efficient in the 2 games. They lost them both. But he was I think he was 9-11 in one of them and maybe like 18 of 23 in the other one.
Kurt Warner.
You're looking up the same thing I'm looking up on Twitter that I just found.
The Kurt Warner?
Posted last night. Yes.
I think he said if you eliminate quick game, screens, and anything under 5 yards, it's like a rhythm throw. He has like basically 25 dropbacks.
28 dropbacks.
That you can study.
You're evaluating.
In his career?
In his career.
Yeah. My conclusion, there is really 28 dropbacks. I took out screens, quick pick and stick throws at 5 yards, and quick scrambles over the last 2 years. 28 dropbacks that will determine his future.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna so he started in his career 6 games, which I had that accurately.
Good job to you.
What is the most number of pass attempts he's ever had in a start? In a full game?
I don't know, 23, 24.
23 is exactly the answer, and
That's
that
the
goes back
number.
to his rookie season.
So this year, what was the one? Because he went
18 of 21 for 288 yards, a touchdown. This year, I mean, the reality is this year, when you look at what he did, very limited, obviously, in terms of the sample size. But Malik Willis this year as a quarterback went 30 of 35 for 422 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 105.5. No picks. 30 of 35, 86% completions, threw for 422 yards. For his career, 155 pass attempts, that's it. 68% completions, 1,322 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks. By the way, all 3 picks were in his rookie year in 2022. Has not thrown a pick since then. And that was in 60. So his last 61. So his last 94 pass attempts, no picks at all.
Yeah.
6 touchdowns, no picks. And his rating, was basically 100 for his career. I'm sorry, his rating last year was 145.5. That was, I said 105.5. That was yards per game. It was 145.5. His QBR was 93.1. Like, those are astronomical numbers.
Yeah. It's just a lot of unknown. He was viewed as a big-time prospect coming out. It was kind of shocking he dropped the way that he did in the draft. A lot of people thought he was going to be a first-rounder. He wasn't.
Yep.
But he was immediately replaced in Tennessee by Will Levis. They drafted him the next year.
Yep.
And then 2 years later, they draft Cam. So obviously they didn't like whatever they saw in the little bit of time that they had him. Now he goes to quarterback finishing school in Green Bay. Looks really good when he plays. But this isn't Sam Darnold coming off of 14-3.
I'll tell you what, no, it is most certainly not, but it feels like a very worthwhile gamble for a team that wants to roll the dice on this guy. I mean, he is 26 years old.
Yep.
It feels like, to me, you would want it. It feels like a very good gamble for a team that's able to spend $25-30 million.
Would you rather do Malik Willis, 3 years, 90, let's say, for the sake of it, or Kyler, 1 year, 2?
Kyler, but it also depends on what my team is.
Okay, explain.
Like the Kyler one, he's only going to a ready-made team. Malik Willis could go to a team that's rebuilding, is going to have some pieces around him, but they, believe that what they've seen, that he's going to elevate everything.
So that's Miami.
You're right. Kyler should go to Minnesota or Atlanta, and I don't think there really should be anywhere else he even considers.
Maybe Indy.
That's out.
Not necessarily.
I mean, if somebody pays Daniel Jones $38 million.
Right, but they don't have to, the transition tag, they don't have to re-sign Jones.
Yeah, they tagged him.
He has to sign.
He has to.
Well, he has to sign the tag.
Yeah, No, and they transition tagged him, right? Or
Correct.
something changed today.
Correct.
So it gives them the ability to match anybody who signs him.
Right.
Right?
So
they're not on the hook to pay him.
If he signs it.
Right.
Yeah, the second he signs it, they're on the hook to pay him $37 million.
Yeah.
I mean, they made that. They did that because he's going to be their quarterback.
Yeah.
And they're trying to save $7 million.
Yeah, if I'm them, I would probably rather have had Kyler.
Now, I don't know. I think you can take it back until the moment that he signs it. So they could
yeah,
rescind.
Yeah. I was talking to Jake Trotter about Kyler this morning. I'd forgotten that he covered him his last year at Oklahoma. For some reason, I thought he came right away with Bake, but he didn't. He came a couple years later. And I had forgotten that Kyler sat not 1 but 2 years at Oklahoma, which tells you quite a bit about what's in the kid, that he did that. Now, who knows what's happened since. I also forgot that he played baseball at Oklahoma. I remember he played baseball. He's a massive prospect, and he was a top 10 pick of the A's. But I forgot that he played baseball at Oklahoma, and he did that too.
Yeah, you remember when he went to the combine?
I remember all of that, but I don't remember him playing
yeah.
college baseball. I thought that was just he was drafted out of high school
Just
as
that
that.
he was that much of a beast, yeah.
Yeah, and Jake also said that he was some guy who's been covering Texas high school football had him as the number one high school football, the number one quarterback in the history of Texas high school football was Kyler Murray. And when you go back and look at what he did, it probably checks out when you think about it. So our notable free agents on the list, Greg Newsome was in there at 30. Devin Bush at number 66 is where he came up on that list. All right, when we come back, Jordan Reed's 2-round mock draft. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. Jordan Reed, we talked to him at the Combine.
Indeed, we did.
Released his post-Combine mock draft, and it is a 2-rounder. Jordan Reed at pick number 6 has us taking Georgia offensive tackle Monroe Freeling. Freeling's stock has skyrocketed since the end of the season. 6'7", 315. He's one of the few true left tackles of this class. He's an excellent athlete who excels in space and on the move. His size, upside, athletic traits have prompted multiple teams to rank him as the top offensive tackle at the Combine. The Browns have 6 offensive linemen hitting free agency and need to help across the board even after Monday's trade for Titus Howard. Big discrepancy on Freeling over there.
Yeah, people, I've seen him mocked to us at 24 and at 6. Big, prototypical left tackle. There are people out there that do not believe the other offensive linemen in this draft are actually tackles. Maui Noah, he goes 11 in this one. And then the guy that a lot of people thought, Dane Brugler mocked to the Browns in his 2-round mock, which I'm sure we'll go through at some point, but who is from Utah.
Fano or the other one?
Fano. Yeah, Spencer Fano. He has him going 19th. And there are a lot of people that think he's a guard. His arms are below the threshold, the 33-inch threshold. So I don't know. But so he has these two not even in the top 10. Daniel Jeremiah said he didn't have any tackles in the top 10 at all. And there was some question whether or not they were tackles. That's the one thing about Freeling. He is a left tackle. He is a prototypical full-on left tackle.
I'll tell you what, in his mock,
I like what you're doing right there. You're saying, let's get a receiver. I don't want to talk about offensive line.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's a great man, and I'm be thrilled if he was the next Hoff. Who wouldn't be? But I'll tell you what would be a hard pill to swallow. Number 7, Caleb Downs. Number 9, Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
That would be tough to sit and watch.
Well, yeah. Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, 7, 8, 9 in this one. And some people think Love's the best player in this draft, period. Caleb Downs, there are people think he might be, as it says, one of the smartest football players. Just a lot of people love him. And then Carnell Tate's the guy that we want. I mean,
yeah,
no doubt.
At 24, Ritas is taking Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. I really liked him. He was really good at Indiana. 24 is not where I've seen him mocked before. Usually it was later, but maybe he was great at the Combine, and he's rising. Yeah.
This is not the only one. I've looked through a bunch recently. This is not the only one that has not only Omar Cooper at 24, but Omar Cooper to the Browns at 24. In fact,
nice player.
Dane may have done that.
Did he do it too?
Well, I'm sure we'll go through this tomorrow. He may have. Dane had 6 receivers in the first round.
Okay.
He had Tate, not in this order, but Tate was first for sure. But Tate, Lemon, Tyson, Cooper, Boston, and Casey Concepcion all went
all 6.
All 6 in the first round. Cooper, when I've kind of done some reading about him now, that he is tough, he's physical. Deebo Samuel.
That's the one I was going to say. Like body type, he looks like that. He looks like kind of a bowling ball. Really, really physical. Got hurt in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State. But, yeah, I mean, he's an impressive player. He's a very impressive player. So they have him at 24, and then he has us taking Texas A&M guard Chase Besantis? There you go.
Yeah.
The Browns would continue to revamp their offensive line with this pick, as Besantis can provide the Browns with a rock-solid option at either guard spot. Good athlete, has allowed only 1 sack over 2 seasons.
Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that's a great spot to get a guy. That's right when you took Joel Bitonio, to get a guy that you think can be a decades-long tackle in this league. That's what I think they really thought they were getting in Zach Zinner. It hasn't worked out that way. One thing that's interesting is, you could redo this one, even Jordan Reed's. Now, he has Blake Miller going 34, but that's a guy that Daniel Jeremiah really liked to tackle from Clemson.
Strongsville kid.
That you could go Tate and Blake Miller, take and even move back a little bit at the end of the first round, pick something else up, get Blake Miller according to this one, and then get your guard right there. Now, he has Denzel Boston going 35 in this one. So a little bit different. I think he has 5 receivers going in the first round, because he has Concepcion going to the Niners at 27. So that would be the 5th receiver, because he's got the other ones. He's got Tate at 9. He's got Lemon at 12 to the Jets. Kenny and Sadiq to the Rams at 13. They just drafted that Ferguson kid out of Oregon.
They did.
Last year in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
So that would be a surprising one to me. And not only did they have Sadiq, they had Colby Parkinson, who played pretty well.
Yeah.
So that, to me, they almost like they might be thinking, let's just get really greedy for a second. Yeah, we've got Nakua, we got Devontae Adams. Let's throw Malachi Lemon in there.
Oh, geez.
Devontae Adams is moving on in a year. Lemon can be our new Cooper Kupp in this offense, and we'd have Nakua, and that works very well for us too.
Yeah.
And then I know that Jordan Tyson 21 to the Steelers. No thanks.
Yeah, no, we don't need that. You heard from our new offensive coordinator. You'll hear from our new defensive coordinator coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly. Add more fun to your fan with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. We head back to the podium. Presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's your new defensive coordinator, Mike Rutenberg.
Do you have to win over the players who were so fond of Jim Schwartz? How does that work?
Any new opportunity is about building relationships, right? And relationships come from the heart. So we're going to build relationships. I'm going to learn about the players, learn about the coaches, share my story, and learn their story. And whatever is important to the players, I want to learn about them, whether it's their families, whether it's football, any outside interests. I'm going to dive right in and build those relationships.
But do you think that is a challenge because Schwartz was so nice? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, tons of respect for Coach Schwartz and admiration. Any time you go into a new opportunity and meet new people and meet new players and coaches, it's always about building those relationships. And I can't wait to start those relationships with all the players.
In a situation.
Todd mentioned that he could only see a way forward where the system, the scheme is the same with that defensive pass rush being so prominent. What's your plan to keep things the same, but also maybe put your touch on what this defense needs to be?
It's always going to be style over scheme, no matter what. The way we play, how hard we play, playing for each other, how fast we play, and how violent we play. And that's always going to be over scheme. Us going after the ball, and then putting our players in the best positions to be successful. It's always going to start with the front. It forever and always will in the history of football, and we're going to continue to do that.
How about Miles Garrett? Have you had a chance have you heard from Miles yet, or have you guys connected in any way yet?
We have not spoken face to face. We've both been traveling a lot, and I cannot wait to meet him and learn from him. Obviously, amazing amount of respect for him as a player and all the great things I've heard about him as a person.
And how, just how excited, I guess, are you to continue what he's already done and maybe even help him elevate his game or just, tweak his game a little bit?
Totally. I don't think I could be more excited. I'm beyond fired up. I can't wait to see all of his superpowers, learn about his superpowers, and figure out what's best for him to help him continue to achieve those superpowers.
Outside of Miles, just looking at this defensive front, I know Todd's been so adamant about liking the way they attack. What do you see when you see how this defense has performed the last few years in that regard?
Keep attacking. Keep getting downhill. Keep attacking. Keep getting downhill. Like you said, not only Miles, you got great players across the front. Malik, Alex, Isaiah, Mason Graham. I could keep going across the front, and the backers behind him who are involved with Carson and, obviously Dev had a great year last year and Mood had a great year and the safeties behind them with Grant and Rocket. Everybody's involved, but it's always going to go back to the front.
You obviously have a lot of experience working with Robert Saleh over the years. He mentioned at the Combine that if Gus hadn't taken the job, you were in the mix and he was someone he was considering. So just what's it been like working for him and what have you kind of learned from him along the way that you're bringing here to Cleveland?
Totally. He's one of those people that I mentioned who's helped me along the way. It started in 2014 when he was the linebackers coach, and I was the assistant DB coach at the time. And what I've learned from Robert, and I'm going to speak on football, he's a great person and a great friend, that goes without saying, but he taught me how to prepare players. He taught me how to get players to play hard, to play fast, to play violent on Sunday. He taught me how to prepare players for what's coming, how to help them anticipate what's coming, to help them respond, not have to think or react. And I give him a ton of credit for that. I'm forever grateful to Robert for what he's done for my career.
How about, can you just talk a little bit about Dom Capers and how he might be able to help you? What does he bring to the table? And I think you were pretty instrumental in making sure that he's here.
Sure. Well, everybody was involved in getting him here, and I really appreciate the organization for allowing us to bring Coach Capers here. Our relationship goes back to 2018 and 19. We actually, for a time being, shared an office, which was the defensive staff room, and he gave me his manual for Kevin Green. I mean, that is like gold to any coach the manual for Kevin Green. And Dom was obviously instrumental in coaching Kevin and all those great defenses. But what hasn't Dom seen? Like, what scheme hasn't he seen? What style hasn't he seen? What technique? What evaluation process? So we're all going to rely on Dom, A to Z and Z to A. And what's amazing about Dom is he does it literally from his heart. He just does it to help. And all the people he's done this for in previous roles would echo that. So cannot wait to keep working with Coach Capers.
When it came to your time with the Falcons last year, what did the role of defensive pass game coordinator look like for you on a day-to-day basis? And just how are you approaching, the secondary? And because this is a unit that's really built on playing man defense, man-to-man coverage, but do you see maybe an avenue to maybe even diversify that and play some more different coverages?
Sure. I couldn't talk about the Falcons without talking about Jeff Ulbrich first. Brick and I, he's my brother in coaching. Brick taught me about style over scheme. Brick taught me about leading through relationships. And him and his family are super, super important to our family. And I want to make sure, Brick, I love you and I thank you. And I couldn't talk about the Falcons without Raheem Morris. Had known Ra and got the chance to work with Raheem Morris, and thankful for the opportunity he gave me to become the pass game coordinator. That role helped me see it globally from the pass game and also tied into the front as well because of some of the things we did. And I'm grateful to those guys. I'm grateful to the players there who helped me in that role. And I learned a ton, not only about front to back, back to front in that, but also how to manage the different situations and situational football. I'm forever grateful. I don't know how much secret sauce I'm going to give you on where the system's going, but I promise we're going to attack and play as hard as possible.
Mike, it's not often that the first-time coordinator inherits a unit like you're inherited, who was coached by a pretty good coach for 3 years. So is there any pressure on you to keep it going and to even improve on it?
First of all, I feel very fortunate to be part of this unit. Feel very fortunate to work with the staff who coach this unit, and then feel very fortunate to work with these players who have achieved great things. Similar to the previous question, anytime you go to a new job in this profession, it's about building the relationships, getting us to play as hard, as fast, and violent, which is part of our heart, mind, fist, as possible. And whether we're at the Jets, Falcons, going back to the Jaguars, coming to the Browns, my year at the Niners, I'm just bouncing around. It's always going to be the same approach of building the relationships and helping the players be as successful as they possibly want to be on Sundays.
You mentioned staff. What's it like walking in to a staff that's largely established, and then how can that help you transition to getting to know the players?
Yeah. Once again, it's very lucky. I've been fortunate to have some previous relationships with some of the guys on the staff. I've known Jacques Césaire for a long time. Our time goes back to the University of San Diego. We did not work together. I was there. Don't quote me on this. I was only there 10 days. He came after, but we worked for a man named Dale Lindsey, who was a Cleveland Brown, actually, and told me stories about, is it Doug Deegan? Is that right? And Mo Gillespie, is that right? He told me stories about these guys for years. And he's not doing very well. But when I walk into that indoor and I see those pictures, I think of Dale. And his wife texted me and said, I saw you're at Cleveland. So that's a little part of my heart and history with Jock. I've known Tarv since we both coached on the field, linebacker drills. He was actually one of Brick's assistant position coaches at the Niners. I swear he must have been like 19 when he was doing that. And we've been able to put our brains together over different things over the last couple years. Ephraim and I crossed over when we got into the league a little bit and had spent some time together. So fortunate to have history with those guys. And as you go through these processes, you naturally do research. Everybody can read a bio, but you dig deep, right, on the humans. And everyone spoke so highly of the guys who are here as human beings and football coaches. And then I get here, and to meet Zach Dunn, I mean, this guy has a wealth of knowledge and is going to help us a ton. I meet Brandon Lynch, superstar, sees it very globally, highly detailed, can see why him and the corners have such a great relationship together. And then we were fortunate to bring a couple people. Ralph Street, our assistant D-line coach, he brings a passion and energy that I think we're all going to be proud of, match it with Jocks, and then our defensive line, we're going to be attacking. and a couple guys who I worked with at the Jets, Paul Warlow and Shaq Wilson, combined, could not be more excited about this staff. Make sure I didn't leave out anybody. Coach Capers.
Like going back to your time, all the way back to the beginning, how did you get connected with Coach Gibbs, and what were those that at the very beginning, that opportunity, what did that kind of establish for you?
Everything. Not a lot of sleep. Had really no idea what I was doing, but it was unbelievable. Vinny Serrato gave me my first chance, and it goes back to all these people who came before us, who helped us along the way. I'll be forever grateful for. And Vinny gave me my chance. First as an intern, then he promoted me to scouting assistant. It was like the greatest promotion of my life at the time. And Coach Gibbs gets hired and basically needs someone to do whatever he asked. And Vinny volunteered me. And it was awesome. It was unbelievable. We could sit here for hours on what any person has learned from Joe Gibbs. But what I really learned is true work ethic. Everybody says work hard. Coach Gibbs was true work ethic. His answer was to keep working and keep fighting and keep working and keep fighting. And I saw that as we went from, I can't remember our first year record, but into the second year, into the playoffs. And it was truly through work ethic and keep fighting and keep swinging and keep fighting. He called me on I FaceTimed his secretary, his executive assistant, Cindy, and then I FaceTimed with Coach. All I could see was his side of his head because I'm not sure he knew that to put the phone right here. But he reminded me about football. It takes great athletic skill, it takes violence, and it takes intelligence. He told me, don't forget that, Rudy. And that really was my start, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Dwayne Walker, who I met, who was the DB coach when we were in Washington, who literally taught me how to coach and brought me from Washington to volunteer intern at UCLA to secondary coach at New Mexico State to Jacksonville Jaguars, who I kid now is basically just a free consultant every time I call him now. And so D-Walk, I thank him, and I know he was here and built some great relationships here.
I know the overlap was brief, but what were you able to learn about this organization from the coaches who were here and are now in Atlanta?
Yeah, the overlap was brief. Everyone speaks beyond highly of this organization in Cleveland. It was really cool to hear them rooting for me, to hear them speak so fondly of the people in this building, the people in Cleveland, the players, the coaches, the organization. It was awesome to hear.
It seems like everywhere you've been, your players really sort of gravitate towards you. Why do you think that is?
Goes back to the first question. Like, life is about relationships. Marriage and parenting is about relationships. And that's been my approach to find out what's important to the players. I've told this story. When I first met C.J. Mosley, the first question he asked me is, what's the close call? I said, to the tight end. He asked me a couple other questions. I don't want to give away too many answers. But I answered them in football. And he basically walked away from me. I was like, oof, I got no chance with him. He's my brother now. We just had breakfast at the combine. But what I learned is CJ, he ticked by football. And then we built a bond of brotherhood. And now we talk about being a great father and being a great friend. He's in business now. And we're able to have those conversations. I go to Quincy Williams. I was in Jacksonville with Quincy, and we drafted him. Quincy and I connected from the heart, from the start. It went heart to football. And we spent a lot of time on our hearts and then a lot of time on football. And I used those two examples and had amazing relationships with Jesse Bates and Xavier Watts, Caden Ellis, Jamie and Sherwood. Richard Sherman taught me so much about being a football coach. And now we get to discuss what it's like being a man and a husband and a father. And it just goes back to finding what's important to everybody, finding out their why, sharing my why. Maybe their why is football. Maybe their why is a hobby. Maybe their why is their family. And if we can find something to connect, it'll always come back to the heart. And when that happens in my experiences, it's unbreakable bond. When things get hard, you thrive in those moments.
Play calling, defensive play calling. What has been your experience so far, whether it be in preseason games or whatever the case may be, and how do you feel like you will transition to that full-time role of doing that?
I've been really fortunate that at the previous 2 stops, my bosses have given me opportunities to call plays in numerous different experiences, preseason games, call-it periods, scrimmages, and obviously there's no substitute for doing it, but that was a huge help. And then not only that, they offered great advice, suggestion, criticism at times of how to improve that. And for me, any new experience I've had, Mary Kay, I've just tried to be where my feet are. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every time somebody says something, I wrote it down, I was like, this is what I'm going to do this. I just tried to be where my feet are and absorb as much as I possibly can. I learned a ton about play calling and Coach Olbrich's process of game planning over the last 4 or 5 years, and that's been huge for me. And eventually, as you learn and are around people who you really respect, it just becomes part of you. And I'm excited for that journey.
Question, but just with when you talked to Todd at the combine, he mentioned in hiring you, like he just felt like it was your time, and Coach Olbrich, I know, made the comment he felt like you would get a DC job this cycle or next cycle. I guess, is that how you kind of viewed this opportunity in interviewing, and do you feel like it's your time?
Again, stock. I've just tried to really, really be where my feet are, and tried to kick butt every place I'm at, every second of every day. Again, heart, mind, fist, going in that direction every day, bringing positive energy, trying to learn as much as I can, trying to help the people who I work with. And awesome experience this offseason that it came. And I'm forever grateful to the people who helped me here, forever grateful to the Haslams, Coach Monk and Andrew Berry, and can't wait to get rolling.
As the game's evolved and offenses has evolved too, obviously defenses have had to catch up.
What was the last thing you said? I didn't hear you.
Defenses have obviously had to catch up to the way that the game has evolved, and the offenses have too. How has maybe the way you view defense maybe shifted as the game has evolved?
Any offseason you start, no matter where you are or what your scheme is, you better get better. You better find a way to get better in every facet of defense, starting with your style. Are we playing hard? Are we playing fast? Are we playing violent? Are we going after the ball? Like, that is first and foremost. We're going to be talking about that every day. Our heart, our mind, our fist, the ball is out. We're going after it. We're going after it. And then, schematically and fundamentally, you have to find ways to adapt, evolve, and create every offseason. So not only are you doing that per what the offenses are doing, you're doing that with your own scheme to continue to get it better and better and better to put the players in the best position.
All right, there you go. I like those guys.
Violent football. These are football junkies. And it's very much about the players. It's not, this is my scheme, this is what you have to do. We're going to adapt everything to get everything ready for our players to put them in the best position to succeed. It's he and Todd Monken, I feel like, are cut from a very similar cloth. Switzer as well. But these two, the energy, the directness, the matter-of-factness, I like it. I dig it.
A melancholy rest in peace to Lou Holtz, who passed away here in the last hour. He was 89, East Liverpool, Ohio native, most famous, I think, for his time at Notre Dame, where he was the last Notre Dame coach to win a national championship.
Absolutely.
He did so in 1988. Was a preeminent. I had forgotten he was a coach of the Jets for one season.
What?
He was at NC State. I'd forgotten that. He was a coach of the Jets in the 70s for 1976. Then at Arkansas 77 to 83, then Minnesota 84 and 85, and then Notre Dame 86 to 96. And then he is really responsible for proving you could win at South Carolina. He went there and won. It was one of the worst jobs in the SEC.
Before the old ball coach
went there, and then later in his life was a pundit on ESPN's college football.
And he was a great pundit.
Yeah, a real titan of the sport, around the game for a long time. So
for sure.
Rest in peace to a great Ohioan on that. All right, we're good? There you go. All right, we'll do this again tomorrow, kids. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.